Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another NFL reaction video. A couple of signings just happened, a few headlines are going around, and there's just a few other things I want to discuss regarding the NFL. As always, before we start the video, don't forget to use code Wyatt's World on G Fuel, Waggle, or Prize Picks. By using my codes on G Fuel or Waggle, you'll save a discount on any of their products, and by using my code at sign up on Prize Picks, you're going to guarantee yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry. But please remember, play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, so first thing to talk about is a signing that happened yesterday, and that is Russell Wilson going to the Giants on a one-year, $10.5 million guaranteed deal with a chance to earn $21 million. Dude, I had people yelling at me on Twitter saying I needed to react to this as if it was some huge, catastrophic, groundbreaking announcement. Ready for my reaction? It's gonna be crazy! I just don't really care. I don't. This is an unmotivating move by the Giants, and it's also incredibly stupid. Why are they signing two quarterbacks when they have the third overall pick in the draft? Like, what's the point of this? And I mean, plus Brian Daboll is going to be able to get just as much good play out of Jameis as he is with Russ. So spending the additional $10 million just seems senseless. Like, he's a good coach. He knows how to work with quarterbacks. This gives you no better of an opportunity at all. This just seemed ridiculous. Next signing we have is Stefon Diggs reaching a 3-year, $69 million deal with the Patriots, $26 million guaranteed. I'm an honest Bills fan. You know, I always like to try and be as transparent as I can. People are going to expect me to run him through the mud for this. I'm not going to do that. A lot of people probably already know that. My full reaction to this is I think that he is still a good player. He can still put up numbers. He can still make plays, but this does seem like a lot of money, which obviously to get players of that caliber to come to a team like New England right now, you're going to have to pay a little bit more, but he's like, what, 30, 31 years old, fresh off an ACL tear? That's a boatload of money, and I am assuming they're going to be able to opt out after 1 or 2 seasons, if he doesn't work out there. But the actual move that the Patriots made, not looking at financials, like they did what they had to do here. They got a receiver. Here's kind of a bittersweet piece of news regarding Puka Nacua here. He has explained on a podcast that he plans to retire at the age of 30. Now, some are asking why would that be bitter? Well, because the guy is going to be 24 before next season starts, meaning he's only going to play 6 more years in the NFL. But the sweet part of it is the explanation behind it. And he stated it's because he wants to have a family with at least 5 kids and he wants to be part of their lives. So basically, this man's just going to try and play at an elite level all the way until he's 30 years old and pretty much leave at the top like Aaron Donald did. You got to respect the hustle, but you're also going to have to respect the fact that the Rams will remember that. Meaning if the guy is really popping off at ages, 27, 28, and he's going to be due for a contract, they're not going to want to give him anything past about 2 seasons. If he's legitimate on this, which I have a ton of respect for him if he is. Moving on, we have a report about Kirk Cousins from NBC Sports. It's saying he will wait until after the draft to accept a possible trade. And this is coming from a Kirk supporter. I love Kirk Cousins, man. Genuinely, like, other than maybe the Titans or the Browns, like who in the fuck is gonna trade for him right now? And also, what are they going to trade for him? I think he'd have a better shot at trying to get back to Minnesota and playing for a minimum as a backup behind JJ. He's already gonna be owed a shit ton by Atlanta anyway. Like, I don't know what he's gonna do. Speaking of the topic of the Vikings quarterback situation, we have a headline on it right here. It says the Vikings have had discussions with former Titans quarterback Ryan Tannehill about a potential deal. Talks are ongoing and nothing is imminent as of right now. Dude, fuck yeah. He would immediately be like a top 5 backup in the league. Like, what would be the problem with that? Not a problem at all. Guarantee it would be like $2 million too. It would be dirt cheap. Little piece of news on Trey Hendrickson here. Apparently the trade is off the table as the Bengals are extending to work him. This makes me happy because I was right if this is the case. I was asked about this on Twitch not too long ago, wondering what my thoughts are and where he might go. I said he ain't going anywhere because anytime the Bengals allow someone to seek a trade, they just end up fucking keeping him anyway. Like, honestly, they're the Tigers that cry trade at this point. Little Steeler news here. George Pickens' dad has praised his son's sanity after playing with Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky. Are you kidding me? You're telling me this guy has been sane? Dude, this guy is an arrogant, immature douchebag. I don't care what anybody says, and I don't care how good of a receiver he is, which, by the way, he's not that good. Could he be placed in the top 25? Yeah, sure. Top 10? You're out of your fucking mind, and I have legitimately heard people argue that before. Oh, bless us. The NFL is sending 4 of its officials to the UFL for further development. I'm not gonna act like this isn't great, but like, how come we just don't send them all? For anybody who doesn't know what this means the NFL is taking 4 refs and putting them down to the United Football League or the XFL, whatever it's called now, so they can basically train and get better at their job so they don't keep fucking up. And I'm not even going off about like the Bills game being rigged or anything right now. I'm just going off for every NFL fan out there of any team. You guys see it every game. These referees are the most inconsistent son of a bitches ever. Half of them don't know what they're doing. Half of them are just staring up into fucking space. Now, also, I would like to clarify that none of the referees that are going into training were in the postseason this year for the NFL, meaning they're relatively new or they just weren't voted on, which is probably for good reason. But if you're asking me, they should also have to prove that they are worthy of coming back. They shouldn't just get their jobs right back at the start of the season. That's bullshit. They're sent down for a reason. I'm not sure how it works. I'm just saying. Here's a report that the Browns are interested in trading for Brandon Aiyuk. I read into the report and I mean, it kind of does actually make sense as the headline would say. It's because the 49ers owe him $22 million. And if they're going to want to actually extend Purdy, they're going to want to try and free up some money. And at the same time, the Browns tried to trade for Aiyuk last year, who didn't accept the trade because he didn't want to commit to playing with Deshaun Watson. But now it's likely that the Browns are going to be drafting a new quarterback and Watson probably isn't going to play there again, at least for surely not this year. Meaning they think it could be an opportunity that Aiyuk would possibly accept a trade going there since he'd be playing with someone else. I don't think that's going to happen. I just think it would be absolutely ridiculous for San Francisco to sign him for all that money last year, watch him get hurt, and then trade him away. Like, that's outrageous. But it also makes me happy that he didn't want to play with Deshaun Watson because nobody should. And the reason I think he might never play again is he is now on a double ruptured Achilles. And by the time he would even be ready to play again, I feel like they're going to be in a much, much better situation and they're just going to bite the bullet. Talking about the Browns here. Moving on, I thought this would be kind of fun to talk about. This says, first play that you can remember as a kid that made you love your team. Well, I have 2 answers for this. So one with the Vikings, very young memory of me. I didn't even watch football at the time, but the Brett Favre to Greg Lewis Hail Mary, that was a huge moment. And then obviously when it comes to the Bills, for those who don't know, I didn't really become a passionate NFL fan till like 2014 or so. And probably my first memory of watching the Bills and actually being like electrified by them was a game in 2015 when they played the Titans. Now, I was watching the Bills because I'd always played as them in Madden, for those who don't know the background as to why I like them. I remember they were trailing not by a ton, but by a couple of scores, and then in the second half, Tyrod Taylor rallied the team back for a win, and he also ran for like 70-some yards, which at the time was a franchise record. So that was a game that truly locked me into this life of pure hell, and Tyrod Taylor, it's all your fault. Fuck you. I'm just kidding. I love you to death, and I will always respect you. And that is actually going to be all for today's video, everybody. I know there isn't a lot to this video, but I wanted to get back on the NFL train and give you guys something football related. I promise as the offseason continues here, we'll go back into the normal swing. I'll do the Madden ratings. I'll do my top 32 quarterbacks. We'll do all that again. I'm just trying to pace it throughout the summer. Anyway, if you guys did like this video, you already know what to do. Please show support because you know I appreciate any and all help. However, in the meantime, I'm going to get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you in the next upload.